So you're getting twice the time today? Is that it?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Really getting closer to finishing up the week, and I feel a lot of excitement amongst the players to get back out on the field. You know, as much as you practice, as much as you prepare, I'm still not like getting back out there for the game and getting over last week. So at the same time, we still have a lot of work to do. I think the guys have worked extremely hard, and we're excited to get back out there. We'll clean some things up and get ready to go for an early kickoff.
How do you think Cody's doing after a week as a guy?
I think Cody, I was going to have a funny joke about the self-lab, but I didn't say it. Cody's had a really good week, really prepared really well. I think he's meshing with all the skilled guys and expect him to play really well.
How about Max? How has he kind of reacted to what's happened?
I think he's done really well, you know, and he can only worry about what he can control. And that's the reps that he gets, and that's the preparation, and be ready to go. And I know he will be.
So you haven't seen any signs of hanging his head, or not necessarily?
Not at all. I think he's done a great job. You know, obviously you look for that to happen, and he's really done a really good job.
Cody seems like a guy that other guys just kind of rally around, just naturally. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fair to say. You know, I think the guys like him. You know, he's a great kid, fun to be around. I think the players definitely like him.
It's a goal this week for Cody, basically, go wire to wire, finish up.
Yeah. I mean, that's anytime you're starting quarterback, you know, you want him to have a great game, and hopefully he will.
You've heard, you know, people talk about how they want you to open the offense up. Obviously, you do play very aggressive on defense. Is it difficult to have a very aggressive offense and defense at the same time, as far as, you know, fatigue or game plan or anything like that, or is it really just about what works for you on each side of the ball individually?
Well, we've had it before. You know, we were at one time here. You know, we had a great offense and a great defense at the same time, and you know, obviously that went a long ways to winning 34 straight. You know, throughout time there. So that's ideal. You know, I don't enjoy calling the game, you know, the way that it was the other day. You know, I just felt that was the best thing for us to win. It's not about me; it's about winning. So that's not ideal. You know, I'd love to, you know, throw the ball downfield all day long and score 50 points. You know, but I don't know that at times that's the best thing for this team.
What's probably the biggest thing that Cody's learned, just in terms of facing coverage, where they drop eight like the Washington State did?
I think just in general, Cody played. You know, he hasn't played for a long time. You know, 3 years since he's played football, and now he finally got to play some and make some mistakes. You know, like everybody does, and you know, he'll learn from those and grow from those and play better.
You guys have seemed to have some problems kind of getting going offensively, especially in the third quarter after halftime. Why do you think that's been kind of a trend for you guys?
Well, I think in general, we haven't played really well on offense in general in any quarter. So I don't think that it's necessarily one quarter. You know, offense drives down and misses a field goal. You know, the offense didn't miss the field goal, or you say, yeah, hey, good first drive. You know, so other things go into that. I don't think it has to do with we're better coaches in the first quarter than the third quarter. You know, we got to coach better and play better.
Do you have reason to believe, or should we believe, that going into this game, obviously you're not going to give us the game plan, but when we watch this game, we'll have a different feeling about the game plan you put together? Because I know you talked about the matchups, but will this be a different looking game to watch?
I don't know that. You know, it'll depend on how the game's going. You know, our goal is to win the game, and you know, we'll get a feel for how the game's going on that day, how our quarterback's playing, how our line's blocking. You know, you can never really predict how the game's going to go, regardless of how much work you do before the game.
You talk about how Boston College is a very physical team, and that's how they like to play. They run the ball a lot. Fair to say it's different than what you see from a lot of the Pac-12. How do you guys prepare and practice for that? How do you get them to think a little differently than the usual Pac-12 opponent likes to air it out more than what they do?
Yeah, I think what's been good, you know, is that we've given our guys looks over spring and over fall of, you know, multiple tight ends, multiple backs type looks. So they do see a lot of that throughout practice. So I don't think it's that difficult of an adjustment as it would be if we were a spread offense.
How difficult of a week has this been, you know, coming off this loss compared to maybe other bad losses you've experienced here for the team as a whole?
Yeah, it's not been easy, you know, but you just go back to work. Worry about what you can control. You know, we can only get to 2-1 no matter what we do. We can't get to 3-0. It is impossible. And you know, our players, and I make sure our players and coaches understand that they cannot get the game back. You know, so there's no use continuing to sit around talking about it. We got to get to 2-1, and then then worry about the next opponent after that.
Deion's been.
How do you think your offensive line is coming along at this point?
I think they did some really good things over the last 2 weeks. Running the ball for some guys that aren't necessarily that experienced in the position they've been playing. Some of them have gone in there, and I think that they showed some improvement. In an area that was a big concern for us.
How does the 24-hour rule apply to using a bad taste in the team's mouth as a motivating factor? Like, hey, we don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, I don't know how that really works very much. To continue to bring up the game and the bad taste and everything. For me as a coach, I have to remember they're going to get that on the outside all the time anyway. We can't control all the kids in their class, their families that are still talking about the last game in the media. We can't control that. So the last thing I need to do is keep banging these guys in here about